Nelson Cruz hoping to give him a reason to do that. He lines this to left. That ball is out of here. And the former Texas Ranger back in the Lone Star State has tied us at 2 apiece. 19 that you're alluding to, Rookie of the Year. What a season. And what a prospect this guy is. As he hammers this to left, there it goes. Career home run number 100. He just became the second fastest in Major League Baseball history to hit that mark. Jose Ramirez, AL Player of the Month in April, got off to a great start, having a great season yet again. Awaiting the 2-0 pitch from Jason Foley. Ground ball past the diving Castro at first. That'll plate at least 2. It kicks around in the corner. It's going to plate 3. And Ramirez slides into third with a bases-clearing triple, and Cleveland has opened it up. It's 5-0.
On ahead of him.
This one is hit well to right. Grossman goes back, and he watches it fly deep into the right field seats. Jose Ramirez, have yourself a day. A 3 RBI triple in the 7th and a 2-run bomb in the 9th. And the RBI leader strikes again. 2 homers on Monday, including, as we said, his first career grand slam. And the reigning AL MVP with 2 down and a 2-2 pitch awaits. Swing and a miss again, and Poche got him. What a job out of the pen to keep this a 2-2 game. But Ward with a 2-run jack, and we are all even. In NL East Saturday night showdown in Queens, the Mets and the Phillies, game 2 of the series. And last night the Mets, who are the hottest team in baseball right now, had a 5-man no-hitter against these Philadelphia Phillies. Brandon Gaudin, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, happy to be with you from Citi Field. And let's get you right to tonight's starting lineups, sponsored by Johnny Walker. So this Phillies lineup will be trying to do better than they did a night ago. They will, however, line it up the exact same way. Still scoreless here in Queens. Temperatures now dipping through the 50s. Supposed to bottom out in the upper 40s tonight. Brandon Gaudin, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal with you for this NL East battle. As Kyle Gibson deals in the bottom of the 5th to the last man in the order, James McCann. Sean Green, by the way, against you in your career, John, 543, 19 of 35.
Yeah, I mean, that's ownage.
That was the one guy that got you. As that one misses downstairs. But you mentioned Tony Gwynn. You shared something during the break that I thought was amazing. What was the stat that you gave?
So I think I got it close. 383 at-bats between myself, Pedro Martinez, Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux. 383 at-bats.
As this one has rolled the ball and quickly won away.
And how many strikeouts do you think we were able to get against Tony Gwynn? And just to show you, different eras, he struck out 3 times in 383 at-bats. And that's over 12,000 strikeouts between the 4 of us. So
that's a pretty good crew.
And he just was so amazing in his craft and his ability to hit. Now, if he's playing today, the exit velocity wouldn't jump out at you, but he'd still hit today, no doubt. But that's pretty amazing. I mean, he owned me too. 444, 38 for whatever that number is to get 444. And couldn't get him out.
Yeah, that's crazy. You asked me to guess during the break. I guessed 15 strikeouts in all those at-bats against you guys, and I thought that would have been good, but 3 is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he had more 3 or 4 hit games in a season than he did striking out one year. I think he struck out 8 times one year, or some ridiculous number. He struck out very little, to where some guys might strike out in a 4-game span more than he did the whole year. But it was different times and different ways that, the reward system back then indicated putting the ball in play. Striking out was not something we wanted to do. And of course, the game has changed with the velocity and the philosophy of trying to hit with the shift and everything that's in play today.
1-1 pitch cut on and missed by Brandon Nimmo, who is 0 for 2. You did get one of those strikeouts on Tony Gwynn, though.
And Glavine got the other 2.
Tony Gwynn, the 8-time National League batting champion, of course, gone way too soon. Left us back in 2014 at the age of 54. And Nimmo is able to hold off here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just waiting to see who's going to be able to break the goose egg first. Both sides have had runners, but unable to manufacture anything.
Well, for the most part, both pitchers, they've gotten behind. Even when they've gotten behind, they haven't centered the strike zone. They've done a nice job in what I call the 4 quadrants. Mainly the lower quadrants is where Gibson is living. And when you could do that and throw enough strikes, you entice the hitters to swing outside the zone. And we're talking about a club in the New York Mets who's the best in baseball so far in their strikeout rate. They have the lowest National League strikeout rate.
A chance at a strikeout here, 3-2. And Nimmo with that good eye. He'll take the walk down to first base. 1 on, 1 out. And now Starling Marte will get his opportunity here. Guy who's hoping to settle in. You remember he was with the Pirates from 2012 to 19, but then Diamondbacks, Marlins, and A's. He's been with all 3 of them since the start of 2020, and now hoping to find a home here in New York. And Gibson is able to get the called strike on the inside corner.
Lightning quick hands, really, when he's going good. Great fastball hitter, and he does like it low. Get him out up.
Check back over to keep Nimmo close. Good speed over at first base, and good speed certainly at the plate, as we talked about earlier with Marte. You see his career against the Phillies, excellent. Ground ball right back where it came from, but a wide throw. And the first error of the game is going to put runners at the corners with 1 away in the bottom of the 5th.
Shame of that play as you practiced so many times in spring training. And because of the speed of Marte is why Gibson got rid of this ball so fast and it sailed away from him. You're taught as a pitcher to throw it over the bag, right? He gets an easy comebacker, turns and throws, but see how it sails away, and that is the difference between potentially a big inning and an inning-ending double play. But the speed of Marte is the reason why I think it rushed the throw, and he didn't get a grip, got a 3-finger grip, and his quest to get it on the bag was unfortunately wide.
And a big error, 12th of the season for the Phillies, who are kind of in the middle of the pack as far as errors are concerned in the league so far this year. But now a big opportunity here for the Mets to break this scoreless tie. And the 5th inning has been their bread and butter. The Mets have outscored their opponents 18-0 in the 5th inning so far this season, and looking to add to it here. Lindor, the batter. A ground ball to the right side. They're going to come home. Safe! Nimmo slides in, and the Mets have the lead.
Mets are doing everything that a first-place team you would think would be doing. Hustle, taking advantage of opportunities. When you're going good, you need every player to do their part. And Nimmo, he sprints on a walk, so you know he's going to sprint on a contact play, and it was hit weakly. And really, you thought right there he had a chance, but a great slide and great heads-up reaction right there is all. That's the difference between an out and a safe, is the reaction he had at third base. And that's pre-thought of what you're going to do before it happens. And Nimmo gives the Mets an early lead.
Real Muto trying to apply that tag. Took him a second to gather the ball that hit his mitt, but late. You're right. You think this is where the Mets struggled last year when they would get runners on. They could not take advantage, especially late in the season. You look at this inning. Nimmo walks, take advantage of the throwing error, and you manufacture a run here without even hitting the ball out of the infield.
Play is so hard for a catcher because the angle to which the ball comes from the first base, he's totally blind to the runner behind him. If that ball's on the left side of the infield, you could see everything that Real Muto would be able to get the ball and the tag in one motion. But he has to make a sweep tag or a turn and guess where that runner is. In this case, head first slide was the one reason he was able to make it. If you slide feet first, may not have worked.
Meeting on the mound, and now Kyle Gibson will try to compose himself here as he's hit his first big speed bump in the fifth.
Before the rule change, he would have got crushed at home plate because the catcher could have blocked the plate and sliding head first wouldn't have worked. So all things adjustments. Catchers have to learn differently and runners differently.
And the task for Gibson doesn't get any easier. Pete Alonso, the batter. The man they call the polar bear got a big bat on his shoulders, and he takes it low, 1-0. Been much more patient at the plate this year. He says that's one thing he's tried to change. He's swinging at 25% of first pitches this season, down from 37% last year.
And he's staying on the breaking balls better, which means he's not expanding the zone. Now, there's always a give and a take. And the give and the take is the changeup becomes that Achilles heel for him. Looks like a fastball, but then he swings at a lot of them.
And time is called as he steps out.
As a hitter, what you want to do is take away something from a pitcher. If a pitcher has 3 places to go to for a hitter, that means his holes are too big, he's not going to get hits off of lead pitches. But if you have shown as a hitter that there's only one small weakness that you have, that is much harder for a pitcher to attack you because now he's afraid of making that one mistake that results in a 3-run homer or a double or an extra base hit.
And Alonso's made a lot of pitchers pay the last few seasons, but they're a weak offering. Gibson fooled him.
Sharp breaking ball, and he opened up his hips way too soon, anticipating the ball would be in. And obviously, as a hitter, you've got nothing left, but you just wail at it.
Four home runs this season for Alonso. 2 of them have come against the Phillies, including the solo shot last night. Another breaking ball away, 2-1. When he hit that home run last night, it was his first in 40 at-bats, which for most players not a big deal. For Pete Alonso, a pretty big drought. Marte at second, Lindor at first, 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Our first offensive action, our first run coming just a moment ago, and now another ball, and they'll be full.
Great pitch and a great take. And now on a 3-1 count, I still think you can get him to swing outside the zone if he goes to a changeup or a slider away. You've got to make it look like it starts in the strike zone. And if you don't, it's just one base to walk on. A lot more bases if you make a mistake.
Saw the action in the pen. Alvarado is warming for the Phillies. Hitters count 3-1. Missed it. They're loaded. Alonso draws his second walk of the night, and Joe Girardi will make his first walk of the night out to the mound. A change coming at Citi Field. We'll be back. Well, bring your friends to the one spot with all of your favorite free MLB games. Play the hits with Beat the Streak, Quick Pick, and more. Visit MLB.com/play and download MLB Play today. Mets with a run in here in the bottom of the 5th. And Kyle Gibson is lifted from the game. They bring in the southpaw, John, Jose Alvarado, who's hard throwing. His issue throughout his time has been control.
And he has some of the nastiest movement and velocity, but it can sometimes get outside the strike zone. So for the Mets, they're aware of his ability to lose the strike zone. But if he's on, you're talking about 98-mile-an-hour fastball with a 91 to 92-mile-an-hour slider and a curveball. And it's got heavy movement. You just don't see the combination of both from left-hander. And the Phillies are hoping he can get locked in.
Meanwhile, he deals to Eduardo Escobar, who has 139 career home runs, but has never in his career hit a grand slam. He's got an opportunity here for the sacks full. Big cut, comes up empty.
First pitch slider, and you would think with that heavy sinker, that would be the recipe to get a ground ball double play. Obviously, you'd like to strike him out, pop him up. But if there's a chance to get a double play, it's going to be off that heavy sinker that just tails away from the right-handed hitter.
Escobar steps out. Alvarado, second year with Philly, came via a 3-team trade back in December of 2020. As we said, he's got the nasty stuff, but walks have been the issue in the last 3 seasons. Highest walk per 9-inning rate in the major leagues. 0-1 pitch, down and in. So if you're Escobar, knowing about Alvarado and what he can do and his issues, what are you looking for here, John?
You try your best to keyhole a location over the plate. And the problem with that is if the sinker's good, it's going to start in that location with keyhole, and then it's going to move away from the barrel of your bat. So you're just looking for a mistake, and you don't have to be impatient. You just have to let the ball come to you. Easier said than done when the bases are loaded.
And that one fouled off 101 miles per hour from the lefty.
And see, that's the issue. The velocity is what a hitter knows he's capable of doing, and he can embarrass you if he throws this next pitch on the outside part of the plate. Now, he started him with 2 sliders. Tendency would be to try to kill pitch with the slider at the back foot with a 1-2. That's the one pitch you get to play with the bases loaded.
And he got him.
And the reason I say that, the 1-2 count is the last pitch you want to be able to throw out of the zone that looks like it's going to be a strike, because when it gets to 2-2, you have to make your decision pitch. You don't want to go 3-2 with the bases loaded. So he started him with the sliders, threw a fastball to get the timing off, and then came right back with a tight slider on the inside part of the plate. Great job by Alvarado there. Now one more big out to get.
That was a huge one. So now 2 away, and Jeff McNeil steps to the plate. McNeil, a fly out and a ground out 0 for 2. And at 99 miles per hour, he fouls it off the other way. Mets fans are familiar with Alvarado. There's been a little bit of jawing over the years when he has faced them on the hill. He's trying to get the best of him here and keep this a 1-0 game. Hope that the Phillies offense can wake up. They still have not produced a run in this series. And grounded foul right there, 0-2.
Velocity's really not going to be an issue with McNeil. He's such a short, compact knot. He doesn't overswing, and he'll make contact more times than not on a left-hander's velocity. But it's the slider that he'll sweep away that will give him some fits, because, like I said, a guy doesn't swing and miss. Coming into this game, 9% is all he missed on the pitches he's seen. That means swing and miss 9%. That's not a very high ratio.
And that strikeout rate, because of that, the lowest in the National League. Just as we say that, he goes down. What a job by Alvarado to keep this a 1-0 game.